appreciate your hospitality.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely my pleasure.
We got the catering girl.
Look at us sitting here. It's crazy because, as a fan, if you had asked me yesterday if I'd have been sitting across from Tim Sylvia, the guy who, the heavyweight champ, the dude who would fight anyone, I probably would have thought you were crazy. If you were going to recall the moment, what was life like in that second? What was life like at that time? And have you had any moments similar to that since?
You mean is the moment when I became the heavyweight champ?
Yeah.
It did not mean a lot to me the first time.
Really?
I felt like I didn't earn it. And not that I didn't earn it. That's just what I felt like. So I was working my way up through the rankings, and I went and I qualified for the big Super Bowl tournament. And it was a 8-man tournament. I fought 3 times in one night and knocked everybody out. Then, about 5 weeks later, I went to Hawaii for the 16-man tournament. We fought once on Friday. I knocked that guy out. And then Saturday, I knocked all 3 guys out one night.
Really?
And now all of a sudden, I'm 14-0.
Yeah.
Getting my ass kicked in the gym every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's killers in that gym that people have no idea who they are. I wouldn't even know to this day who they are. There's a mythical creature in that gym called Steven Rusk. And he was an alumni wrestler and Augustana wrestler. He's got a voice just like Mike Tyson.
Wow. Nicest,
sweetest man on the planet until he puts his hands on you.
Wow.
And he just throttles everybody. He did it to Mark Coleman. Mark Coleman showed up to get ready for Pride. Yeah. And Steve used him like a rag doll, bounced him off every wall in that room.
Yeah.
And Mark Coleman was, who are you? Who is this guy? This don't happen to me. Well, it just did, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that all happened, and my goal was to get into UFC, and all of a sudden we get this big fight, and I get into UFC. I fight Cabbage Carrera, and had a great showing, TKO'd him, and I'm just kind of waiting for the next call, and we're at the airport, and me and the team, Monty, Jens, Pat, Matt, all of us at the airport, and he's like, "You're not gonna believe this." We're like, "What?" He's like, "They just offered you to fight Rico Rodriguez." I'm like, "For the championship?" They go, "Yeah. Yeah, they offered him 3 guys. He picked you." I'm like, "Let's do it."
Yeah.
And it was a no-win situation for me. But as most people, my first dream was to get in UFC. So now I got into UFC. So my next dream is to become a UFC champion. Mm-hmm. Earn my way through the rankings. Fight 3, 4, 5 times, and all of a sudden now I have a title shot, and I won it easily.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that wasn't hard. Mm-hmm. But in reality, if you look back to it, it was hard. I got my butt kicked every single day. I left Maine not knowing anybody in Iowa. I met some guys for a couple weeks when I trained in Iowa for 3 months prior. And I think after I defended and I lost the belt, all the things I went through, I fought for the vacant belt eventually, a couple years later, and Frank Mir broke my arm.
Yeah.
And that was a big setback. That was a
At that moment, did you feel like, I imagine anybody could guess all the thoughts that would go through your mind, but for everything that you had worked for up to that point, having won the heavyweight championship, when you just passively say stuff like, "Oh, I fought Cabbage Carrera," and people know who that is. You're the people that you've gone against you had no fish. At that moment, having worked that far and your arm snaps, mm-hmm. besides the pain, did you feel like it was career ending? Did you feel like, man, I've got to do something else? No? Never? Mm-mm. You wanted to continue fighting. I went back and looked at that footage last night just because I was so excited.
When he had my arm in there, I pulled my arm out. I got my elbow out. And that's the most...
Sure.
Once you get your elbow, you're safe. Well, Frank had a steel cup on, and I have a long forearm. And he used that. That was a fulcrum point. So as he's pulling on the arm, it goes pop, pop, pop. And I go, this son of a bitch just broke my arm. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah. That's funny.
And Herb jumped in and stopped it. Because when he did that, I picked him up and spiked him, and I felt him go a little limp. So I was gonna pick him up again and spike him again and just start jacking him on my left. And I knew I had him. He was dead to right. He was knocked out. And Herb stopped before I could do it. So I was really pissed off about that. I'm like, I just need 30 more seconds.
You could see it. You could see it in your face that there was not any part of you.
So, I put on my poker face. I'm like, it's not broken. It's not broken. It's fine. It's fine. I'm hoping they're going to restart it. Because Frank comes over and starts taking those gloves. And he's like, we'll do it again. I go, bullshit. We'll do it now.
Sure.
He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, this ain't over. Let's go. I've got about a couple minutes left before the pain sets in.
Yeah.
And Pat comes in. It's over. Pat comes in and he's like, is it broken? I go, oh, yeah. He's like, well, raise your hand. Make sure, let everybody know that it's not, good poker face. So we are. And we're walking out of the arena and some fan gives me a high five in that broken arm. I wanted to cry.
I bet.
We get back in the locker room and my boys are trying to get this glove off. I'm like, cut it.
Really?
Cut it off. Let's get to the hospital. Let's get some pain meds in this body because she's hurting now.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
The time from when that happened, which obviously is just a huge moment. What was the next moment in your career after that where you knew you were back in the rhythm and you were back? At what moment did you know that was just something in the past and you still had a lot of future ahead of you?
They fixed my arm immediately. They put plates in it, no cast. I didn't want to cast. I wanted to get back in the gym and start working out. And as you know, the body is an amazing machine. I went in there and just started doing bicep curls and tricep extension with my left arm because your body will transfer that weightlifting over to your right side and start healing. So I was in the gym immediately working out. And about 5 months later, I got a fight with a tune-up fight, I call it, because it was Wes Sims. I had to go to Hawaii. I asked Dana's permission to go to Hawaii and beat up Wes. He gave it to me. He actually came out to the fight and sat ringside, and I knocked out Wes Sims. And then Dana's like, okay, I think you're ready. Let's fight Arlovsky for the vacant title because Frank had won and got a bad motorcycle accident, broke his femur, so the belt's vacant again.
Right.
So I go in there and I'm getting ready. I'm fighting Arlovsky, and I knew he was a killer. But I wasn't scared, didn't care. And he drops me and jumps on a leg and just starts, cranking. And I felt safe, but I heard pop, pop, pop. And I panic tapped. Not to take anything away from him. It probably, I don't know. He probably still would have won or whatever. It doesn't matter. But I'm like, I just heard pop, pop, pop. And I panic tapped. I'm like, that's it, done.
Yeah.
Because I just went through 6 months of rehab to get my arm ready. I don't need a broken ankle either.
Yeah. Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
For anybody.
So, Arlovsky wins, and so now it's all of a sudden I'm 2 losses in a row. What's the UFC going to do with me?
Sure.
And I ended up getting a good fight against Trey Dellerman. And now this is the road to victory for me because now I'm like, okay, I'm down and out. How am I going to get another title shot? How am I going to get this UFC title back? Because it's mine. It doesn't belong to anybody else. And we got out there and fight Trey and had a great showing. Knocked him out first round, head kick. And then I'm fighting Oswaldo Silva on Spike TV. A lot of people didn't know, but I got really sick before that fight. Like
really,
it got cold in Vegas, and we were staying at the fights were at the Hard Rock, and we were staying across the street, so we were walking back and forth, all sweaty and just yucky. And it got cold. That's a cold spell, and I got really sick, coming out both ends. And I went out there and fought anyway. I didn't have a great showing, but I won, got the victory, and then I'm fighting Andre Arlovsky again for the championship. And as we all know how that went, I go out there and he drops me, and I jump up. I'm like, this is not happening again. And he walked into an uppercut, and that's all it took. So that one felt better than the first one because I had to earn it. Like I got in UFC, I had a great showing against Cabbage, and then he gave me Rico because I was supposed to lose that fight, and I didn't. And so this one, broken arm, panic. I broke the ankle. 6 months later, a year later, 2 more fights, and I'm like, okay, now I earned this title shot. So that was the most meaningful one, definitely.
So those were kind of like the Wild West days, if you will, of UFC. I think that these days to hear of a fighter that felt bad, that was in the situation that you just described, but still wanting to fight, to have fighters that literally just had their arm broken in the cage and insisting on continuing, those days are long gone. It's become this global brand, which I don't hate on because I love the UFC.
Same.
I think 100%.
I love all fighting, and that's why I'm here, this weekend to support the BKFC.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm always going to be a fan just because I have such great memories, especially of those Wild West days. What are your thoughts though on now that MMA has become a global thing? The UFC has really become this huge conglomerate that appeals to so much more than just the essence of what it originally started as, a place for men and ladies to come together and duke it out and let the best be the best without all of the periphery.
Well, when I was doing it, there was no ladies.
True.
So, that just shows where it is now. But, when we were doing it, there were guys on the couch that said they could do that, but they were too old or whatever, but they were having kids when we were doing it. Mm-hmm. And now they're grooming these kids to be UFC fighters. They want to live through them. Mm-hmm. So at 5 years old, their kids already doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, and wrestling. Yeah. They're grooming their kids to be UFC fighters, to MMA fighters, however you want to word it. And that's what we're seeing nowadays. These kids that are 20 years old, they've been training for 15 years in the sport. Right. Well, we did some wrestling, we did some jiu-jitsu, boxing, whatever, but we were doing it because we thought we were tough and we were going to show how tough we really were.
Mm-hmm. You think that you think people are as tough as they used to be 10 years ago?
Absolutely not. No way.
No.
It's just the world we live in.
What's tough to you? What's tough to you? If I were to say, what is your definition of what it is to be a man, to be tough, to be all of the things that we're describing, what's the short explanation for you?
Fight to drop a hat no matter what, life to death. If I'm in a situation, I have a kid now, he's 14, so he's my world. No one is going to touch my child. No one's going to assault my child. No one's going to whatever. I mean, there's no sugarcoating at my house. There's no pussies at my house. Yeah. And then the problem is that's what the world's come to. Yeah. In my house, a man is just somebody who owns all his responsibilities, accepts failure. How
does a man treat a woman?
I'm old-fashioned, man. I open doors, close doors. I pay for everything. I put them on a pedestal, and if that doesn't work out, then we end things, It's just, but I try. I'm old school, mm-hmm. That's just the way I am, and they're beautiful creatures. I love women, and I raised my son the same way, and I'm very, very. My son is amazing. I just took him last week, and I took him to a event called Tailgating Tall Boys. And I'm still blessed that a lot of the country singers in the industry know who I am and are big fight fans, and I'm fans of them. So we had backstage all access, and we brought our electric dirt bikes, and my son ran around this 20-acre place on his dirt bike every day. And after 4 days of this outside, we camped it and stuff. People were coming up to me like, "You have an amazing son. Your son is awesome. He's welcome back anytime. We can't believe how good of that 14-year-old is." Yeah. I mean, he made friends with Jesse Murphy. Yeah. He made friends with all of his dancers and got their numbers. And these are grown men. Wow. He's over there playing pool with them and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even have Jesse Murphy's number.
It's so cool to see our kids. And I say this loosely, but be better than us.
That's what we all want. Yeah. We don't want to spoil them, but we want them to have a better life. I mean, my son definitely has a better life than me. He's loved more than I was loved. I had a rough childhood with my mother and stuff, physically, mentally abused and stuff. My dad wasn't around because he was always working and stuff. So it was rough. And my son was not going to have that growing up.
I think our generation, we did, I don't want to say we got the raw end of it, but our parents were of a generation that still had a lot of black and white in them, and the nature of discipline, the nature of I think just the relationship between parents and children was so different with that generation that I see a lot of us say the same thing. I had it rough, or my mom, and to know that we're in a position where we're breaking those chains, where we're making the difference. Like you said, the most important thing you just said was your son is loved more than you were loved. Mm-hmm. And for me as a father, that's the only thing I want, man. Yeah. That's the only thing I want.
I mean, it was funny. Every time I saw him and stuff, he's every time I see him, it's, "I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad." It's great. And people commented, they're like, "Man, that's so good that he says that." And he was holding my hand at the concert. We were going through the crowd, and I'm like, just kind of had my hand on his shoulder, and he just grabs that and reaches and holds my hand. Yeah. The feeling is just unbelievable. Well, it's unconditional love, and it's I don't know if you really get that with women or wives or nothing, but when your kids do it, especially at 14. You know, he's like, sometimes like when we have stones back in Iowa, I'm like, you probably should sleep with me. And he's like, okay. My master bedroom's in the basement, so he comes down there and put a body pillow between us, and we sleep in the same bed still. You know, I love it.
Yeah, it is. It's a really cool thing. Also, Tim, to be able to provide what you wanted.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
It's a really powerful thing to be a young man who, and I know this firsthand, who lacked whatever reason. We can go into all this. Everybody has their own individual story, and the feeling that you kind of get from it is also a little bit of that love back for yourself, because you're sharing that with them and providing something that you just didn't have.
Yeah, like even just with hunting alone, you know, I hunted when I was a kid. I started when I was 12, but my uncles took me, my dad and stuff, and we have a very fortunate. I have my own farm in Iowa and stuff, and got a cabin there and stuff, and we hunt a lot.
Sure.
And I love it. I can go the rest of my life and never harvest a turkey or deer again as long as he can.
Yeah,
that's better.
great.
It's better when he does. You know, he is.
The memories obviously that you guys make are going to be ones that are forever, but you've started making other memories in the way of production outside of the UFC cameras. You've got your own show.
Yeah.
Season 8.
Season 8 just got finished airing here in the United States. Hit Squad Outdoors with Tim Sylvia airs on the Sportsman channel. I air there first and second quarter, and then when I leave, when the second quarter's over, then Canada Wild TV takes it over for third and fourth quarter.
Oh, cool.
I stream on OATV, which is available on Roku and other streaming networks. And then once at the end of the year everything's over with, we try to put it all on YouTube, so it's available there and stuff. But season 9 is pretty much all filmed up. I mainly focus on whitetail and turkey. I try to associate myself with the common Joes, because that's what I am now. Yeah. I work 9 to 5, you know, well, not really 9 to 5, but I have a roofing company and stuff, so I do that. I have a t-shirt company and some other little things on the side. But that's what every American can do in any state. He can go get his turkey tag and deer tag for about $50 or $60. So that's the people I want watching my show. You know, that's not, because that's what I do. I don't do a lot of extravagant hunts. I'm very fortunate being down here in Texas. Had some hunting company that I think it's called Hog Patrol or something. They want me to come shoot some hogs. Thermal.
From a helicopter?
No, we're not doing hell. I wish. Now with night vision thermals, you know, with ARs.
Super cool.
So yeah, we picked up 300 rounds, and we're gonna go level some tomorrow night.
Wow.
And I'm taking some of my boys to experience.
What part
it.
of Texas you have?
I don't know. My buddy Dave, who you met, he lined it up. He's a pro staff on my hunting show, and he films. So he's gonna he got it all set up. So we're gonna go there tomorrow and line up some bacon.
What's the most memorable of all the seasons, including 9, what you just filmed? What's the most memorable hunt? Was there a moment in the show that you were just like, I cannot believe this happened?
Yeah, Maverick's first turkey kill.
Really?
No, I'm sorry, Maverick's first deer kill, because he cried as soon as he shot it. It dropped and he cried. Now I shouldn't say not his first. The first deer kill he did on his own. He killed his first turkey and deer at age 5 with a crossbow, but he still had some assistance. You know, sitting on my buddy's lap and stuff like that. And not at 8 years old, he killed his first deer and he shot it and it dropped.
Wow.
And then, you know, that following year, his first turkey, he shot with a shotgun and shot it and just drops. And that's just, and I have it all documented. It's all on film. It's on TV. I can look it up anytime I want and watch it.
That's great.
And
do you process everything? Do you process everything? Or
do I produce it all?
No, I mean, do you process all the meat that you
yes. Right. I have my taxidermist has a processing company, so he does all of our deer and stuff and take the turkeys there. And so I'll do the turkeys and I'll take out the really good meat, like the inner tenderloins and stuff like that, and then we'll take it to the process. We get burgers, a lot of ground done, and especially sausages on the big bucks, you know, summer sausage and jerky and rig bologna and Italian sausage and all that stuff. So I probably eat 3 deer a year.
Wow.
But it's good really meat. Good. Everything I make is deer and stuff. So
and
I love my cows. Don't get me wrong, and you can't beat a good ribeye. But
how do you feel that harvesting your food from the land, getting wild game, improves your health, improves the experience it improves the whole culinary experience? How is it different from store-bought meat to you? I mean,
I know again, it's not injected with any hormones or any crap trying to make it bigger and stronger and better for eating. I know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I go out there and I do my food plots. I plant corn. I plant beans, clover plots, brassicas. I put in watering holes, all this stuff on my own property.
Oh wow!
To make
and you
the
have
herb-
how many acres again?
I own 100. I have at least another 160 that connects to me, so 250 in the Iowa area, and then I lease about 400 or so in Missouri, which is only 30 minutes away.
That's a lot of land, brother.
Yeah,
That's a lot of land.
Yeah.
Do you do most of all your filming on your land?
I do. Yeah, most of it's right there in the
Wow,
Midwest.
that's great. So, just for my own personal side, I'm curious. Do you handle all? You mentioned the production. Do you produce it all yourself?
I do. I film it all myself. I get cameramen and stuff. We film it all. Then it all goes to my buddy in Maine, the Bear Whisperer, Nature Productions, Blaine Anthony, and that's how I met Dave. He started pro staffing for him, and then he's a big fan of mine and wanted to start. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you do things right. You know, you do things right. You do a good job. So yeah, you can be on my show too.
Sure. So you mentioned something earlier. Clothing's a big part of the MMA game. It was forever. I mean, you can think back to Tap Out and when Affliction came
So
around.
when you say tap out, you automatically associate it with UFC.
do you?
Yeah, I
mean, yeah, I guess.
Anybody
people do
says tap
think
out,
about
UFC.
that. 100%.
Affliction, UFC.
So those brands have come and gone,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Yep.
And you're kind of doing your own thing right now.
I am, yeah. Myself and Sean Keys, we're doing Slep Athletics, getslep.com. That's our website. And I've had a few niche sayings, you know, in the past, but fighting solves everything is one of my big ones.
Right.
And I've been selling that shirt for 15 years.
Yeah.
But, you know, if anybody gets knocked out in a fight, you always hear Rogan, DC, oh, he got slept.
Right.
It's a catchphrase, man. And BKFC guys are getting slept all the time.
Yeah.
Drag race night. Our buddies that do the Discovery Channel Street Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
If they leave on the light and they left the guy was sleeping. He got slept.
Yeah.
It fits, and it really fits in BKFC because it's bare knuckle. You know, there hardly is any fights that go the distance. So we really truly believe that Get Slept, you know, Slept.com is the next thing to BKFC is how Tap Out was to UFC.
Oh yeah, man. That's
They
super
just
cool.
it works.
I saw the hats last night. And
Yeah,
so I have to
and you know,
get a
I
link
talked
and
to
see where they
I
are.
talked to Feldman and stuff last night, and he's really excited about working with us and stuff. And he wants to get something on ink and stuff. So that's great. You know, we'll have another meeting in August with Connor,
Mm-hmm.
and I know Connor's gonna like it. He's a stand-up fighter. He sleeps people all the time.
When you reflect on everything, post MMA career, post heavyweight champion, now a hardworking filmmaking, producing, company owning man, where do you hope to see yourself? Maybe let's not go 10 years, let's not go 5 years, but just in the next year, what are the real things that you're wanting to accomplish, and where do you hope to see yourself? We were sitting here a year from now.
Mm-hmm.
What are the biggest things that you're excited about?
We're pushing hard. I really am building this Slap brand.
Mm-hmm.
I really want it to be I don't know if it will be in a year a household name, but I mean, I think 2 or 3 years, people are going to associate Slap with BKFC and fighting like they did Tap Out.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go out on the streets or go to a bar or go to fights and see dozens of people wearing Get Slap shirts.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're sponsoring some of the bigger, we're sponsoring, you know, 2 or 3 of the actual champions in BKFC right now.
Really?
Ben Rothwell, Jessica Borger. They're both Slap fighters. And we got a few others. So I think that's what I want. You know, that's what we're really pushing on. That's why we're here. And we've made Chris Lido a partner as well.
Yeah, what a fantastic dude. Chris, you know, when you think about that Wild West generation of UFC
He
fighters,
was one of them.
that dude was one of the best.
And he worked full time as a firefighter.
Seriously. And he and I had a brief moment to talk last night, and he was like, you know, man, I remember the days when I would do this, do that, go train, go fight, come home, fly home, and then the next morning I was making breakfast for all the guys in the firehouse, and I'm sweeping up, and they're like watching me on TV, but I'm in the corner. And you know, the amount of grit, the amount of determination, the ethic that goes with being that, on top of the fact that every time that guy got in the ring, he fought. He is a, you talk about what's
man's
a man,
man.
what's tough.
Absolutely.
He is a man's man. And it's something that, you know, I'm not ashamed to say that as another man, that's what you hope to have. That's the kind of grit you hope to
Yeah.
have. And you know, again, I say this respectfully, but there's so many weak people in this world.
Yeah.
It's just really refreshing to see someone who's absolutely strong, and not only physically, not only with his history, and I can speak the same of you, but also just in who you are and what you represent, and who you've become, and how you've taken those opportunities and molded them into something that obviously is going to work for you for a very long time, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm I'm in my late 40s, enjoying life. Life's going good. I dabble a little bit in the slap industry now. I'm doing some slap fighting.
Tell me about that. Though.
I'm the current
Serious
super heavyweight champion of the world.
Are you?
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't know that.
Yeah,
super
slap
heavyweight
fighting.
champion of the world. So
July 18th, I defend my title.
where?
When's this airing?
Whenever.
Okay.
I can do it in conjunction.
Yeah,
with whatever.
tentatively we have a date. Actually, I already told you the date, July 18th. It's St. Branson, Missouri, but we could get moved to Texas.
Wow.
We have a certain influencer, is probably the largest influencer in the industry, that's got a mansion, and he's talking about possibly having it in his mansion with
Really?
a few of his other influencer friends. So
You know
if he was to have everybody there, you're talking 34 million views.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I happen to know a guy that runs a club.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah, man.
The problem is when you do it in clubs is you can't control who. It has to be closed.
Right.
Because you can't control who's videoing,
Copy.
and that was a problem. The first couple matches I had, I was involved with the pay-per-view numbers, and I didn't get paid. Well, I did, but not what I should have, because everybody got to see it on all the people videoing on their cell phones.
Yeah. How do you rate the, there's a lot of promotions, a couple of obvious very, very popular promotions doing the slap fighting thing right now.
There's
And
two. Yeah, there's two.
It's really, I think, to the average person watching it,
They all
there's
think
there's a excitement,
There is.
there's a fear, there's a anticipation of injury, there's all of these things. It's a little different than MMA, because
yeah.
this is just brute
Toughness.
toughness. How do you train for that?
I don't. I fought for 16 years. People ask me, "Is it hurt to get slapped?" I'm like, I fought Andre Arlovsky for 5 rounds for 25 minutes. We punched the shit out of each other. By the end of the fight, I couldn't shake anybody's hands because my hands hurt so bad. They were broken.
Wow.
Him and I punching each other for 25 minutes. Does a slap hurt? No, I don't even feel it. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I just lift. I lift heavy.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
That's how I
crazy.
train for it.
That's great.
But not one of these slap fighters was the former UFC Heavyweight Champion or any UFC champion, let alone fought for 16 years.
Man, I would not want to be slapped by you, bro.
That's what a lot of people say.
I'm a little dude. I would fly. I have no problem. I mean, like maybe
It would be if I hit you with everything I had. And you let me. It ain't just like fighting. Am I gonna get a clean punch? Are you faster than me? No, you got to stand there and just let me do it.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just imagine. I'll
Right.
leave it there. You're such a gentleman, dude. I mean, everything that you've done and your career just seems to be excellent.
I've definitely changed. I've got a lot of friends now who I didn't have friends back in the day, and they're like, "Man, you were an asshole back then." I go, "Look, here's the difference. I wasn't an asshole. I was very confident. I wasn't cocky. I was just very confident. And if you were a big guy, I looked at you as an opponent someday, a future opponent or whatever. I didn't need any more new friends. I had plenty of friends. I kept my circle small. I don't drink, and if you saw me in a bar, I have zero tolerance for guys touching me and trying to be funny and telling me, "Oh, you don't look so tough. Ha ha, what do you say we go outside? I kick your ass." Oh, just kidding. No, because back in the days when I did drink, we didn't get a chance to go outside because I'm kicking your ass right then and there.
Right.
So I was mature enough and smart enough to know that don't drink, because that causes problems. And so I might have been, I wouldn't say rude, but I didn't have any tolerance for stupidness.
Yeah, well, you did keep your circle small. As a matter of fact, the guys from the Militich that whole camp. Pat was, you mentioned him briefly earlier, super influential on you. I know that being your mentor and being a friend, we do have a common connection in him. Obviously mine, nothing like yours, but I had the opportunity to be connected with him at one point in time, and everything that he did for me was excellent. He just made me better. And in fact,
he has that effect on people.
Literally, this book right here, I told you last night, there's a book that he told me to read. I carry that book still to this day, and I tell all my friends that it's one of the most influential things. How did Pat change your life, and how did you end up stumbling into his?
I went to a UFC when I was still training, and I still lived in Maine, and I was like, I knew I had to get to the next level. I was doing, international, just regional fighting, paying to fight, whatever I could just to fight because I enjoyed it. And I was like, if I want to take this to the next level, I want to get into UFC. Because at the time, the UFC was a big show still. That's what I wanted to do. I had to find a good camp. And it was either Tito Ortiz, whatever they were called, Huntington Beach Bad Boy, I can't remember, Team Punishment. Him or the Shamrock, the Lion's Den, and or Militich. And I met them all, but Pat was just so down to earth, and he was just like, Jesus Christ, you're big enough to eat hay and shit in the middle of the road. Do you fight? That's what with a big old chew in his mouth, spitting on the floor as he's talking to me. I'm like, yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, big fan, I was like, well, shit, come to Iowa. We got all kinds of boys you can train with. Wow. I'm like, if you're serious, I'd love to. Wrote down his number, gave it to me. Wow. About 6 weeks later, I was in Iowa training, staying in his couch down in the basement on
what
a
crew to train with. Hughes, who at that time, who were the standouts? At that time,
Jens Pulver was the champion. Yeah. Pat was the champion. Matt wasn't the champion yet. But they had Jeremy Horn. They had Steve Russ, the mythical creature that no one knew about. But I mean, just getting in that room, they had so many UFC vets and stuff. And you had to earn your spot. I wasn't good friends with Matt Hughes at all. Matt was an asshole.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't like me. I didn't like him. Jens was kind of an arrogant little puke and stuff, but I was just another guy into training, a big guy, and did I have what it took? It took me having to win the world title to earn their respect to become friends. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that they thought they were better than me. They just see guys come and go all the time. Mm-hmm. So why are they going to be friends with someone who's going to come and go or wants to say they're friends with them because they're who they are? Mm-hmm. So I didn't really have a problem with that. I was just like, I'll show them. I'm here to stay, and I'm going to be the best in the world. So, and I mimicked a lot of my training after Jens Pulver.
Really?
Yeah, he was one of the hottest workers in the gym, and it was a badge of honor when he got to tell people, he's like, this is the hottest working heavyweight I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. And I took that, and I ran with it, and I think that's why I was very successful in a lot of my fights too. I wasn't the most athletic person in the world, but you can't teach 6'8", but the only thing you control in a fight, the only thing is the conditioning. Mm-hmm. Me and that guy can be the exact same skill set, the exact same height, size, everything. The only thing you control is your conditioning. Yeah. If you outwork that guy, you have the upper hand. And that's what Pat embedded in us. We're going to outwork anybody we go against. Our training camps, our gym, our training camps and practices were worse than fights.
Really?
But when you got in there and fight, the fights were easy. I became 14-0. I ran through those tournaments, fighting 3 times a night and not coming out unscathed. My foot might have hurt a little bit or whatever, but they were easy. I was like, I can't believe they're this easy. I can't believe I'm knocking everybody out. I finished my career and with 19 knockouts.
Wow.
So
how many of those guys are you still friends with? I mean, like last night, Arlovsky was here. He's fighting in the promotion this weekend. You guys have some intimate time together.
We're friends. I went up to him. We just started shooting the shit. I gave him a T-shirt for the company and stuff. He's like, "This yours?" I go, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I'll wear it, man." And he's like, "What else you doing?" I said, I do some roofing and the T-shirt company and the hunting show. He's like, "Yes, I've been wanting to talk to you about that." He goes, I don't have much longer left. And he goes, I really want to get into the gun industry and stuff. I love to shoot and stuff. And he goes, I'm going to be doing a podcast, so let me get your number and, I'll get you on it and stuff. And, and then maybe, I can do something. I said, I'll take you hunting, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely.
How cool would it be for you to have an episode of you and him out?
Well, I've had episodes with me and Randy Couture.
Have you really?
Yeah. Wow. Randy's one of my best friends today. I help him with his charity.
Really?
And stuff.
What charity? I'm curious.
The GI Foundation.
Nice.
And it's nonprofit. Everything goes to the guys when they got to be in the hospital and the family needs to pay bills and stuff like that. That's what it goes for.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I think we raised in the Quad Cities last year. We raised over 100,000. So that's about 5 checks. They give them about $20,000 each family to help them out with times in need, paying their mortgages. Getting them a car to travel back and forth to hospitals or whatever they need. Just stuff like that. Helping their sons. One of the vets committed suicide, and his son needed help going to school, so they paid a couple of years of tuition for this kid so he can.
Wow, what a great thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. As everyone
thing.
knows, Randy was in the military and stuff, so another great guy. But yeah, I would definitely need to do a show with Andre.
Yeah.
After fighting 4 different times.
That guy,
I can't believe he's still fighting.
You talk about the
longevity, and like I said, what this sport does to your body. I'm broken. I mean, I've had 16 different surgeries. Just had full knee replacement in one, and thank God I was able to go to Tijuana CPI for stem cells. That fixed my left knee. It's helped out my back, my shoulders and stuff. That was a great saving. I think Rogan had something to do with it. He got me involved with the original ones that were going to happen in Colombia, and then one of the guys left Colombia and started his own thing in Tijuana and CPI, and I don't know if it was Scotty or Ed or whatever, but somehow, I reached out to him. They're like, yeah, we've been talking about you and stuff. We'd like to have you come down, and we'd like to take care of you and stuff. And that's a game changer. Stem cells.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can't wait to go back and get some more because it definitely works. And the turning point, the first time I went there, I met a guy that was his year to come back. He showed up in a wheelchair the first year. 6 months later, he came back. He's out of the wheelchair, and now he's one of the coaches for his son's soccer team running up and down the field. Mm-hmm. He showed up in a wheelchair.
Wow.
And now he's running.
Crazy.
Yeah, but no one wants to talk about it in the United States because it's not allowed, because Big Pharma's making all the money on us being sick.
Yeah. The world that we live in is definitely different than the world we grew up in.
Oh, okay. So the same food over in Europe is the same food we have here, but they doesn't have all the preservatives and the dyes and all that crap in it. So why is that allowed here?
Yeah, 100%.
Hopefully, him and the administration working on all that stuff will make it better for us. It ain't going to help us any. It's going to help our kids and our kids' kids. Get us back on track.
Well, man, you've covered so many different things. It's amazing how you've been able to take what seemed to be a chance encounter with a really great guy that brought you to Iowa and turn that into a career of doing something that you love, what most people are scared to do, and then you became this icon, became an icon in what is now the fastest growing sport in the world. Everybody remembers the moment of the Frank Mir fight. Everybody remembers the moment that you became champion, and post UFC, post MMA world, the things that you've done both through with your t-shirt company and your other personal endeavors, the show, is there anything else that you want to do that you haven't accomplished that ultimately is the one thing that's left checked off on your, because it seems like you've lived a pretty full life, dude.
Bare knuckle boxing.
You want to do it?
I do, but I gotta do it against someone who's my same age. You know what I'm saying?
So would you fight Ben?
I would.
You would fight Ben Rothwell?
I would fight Ben. I've already fought Ben Rothwell. I knocked him out.
No, but
that's how we met.
BFKC.
I would.
I know it's not it in your mind. I would love to see that. I bet you Ben would love to see that.
I don't think Ben would love to see it, but David Feldman and BKFC would love to see it.
I hope it happens.
We're in talks. We'll see.
Hey, I'll be there, and I'll be there with my slept hat on.
We'll get you on.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, that sport was made for me. Ben even said it, when he won, I called him and congratulated him. He's like, man, he goes, everybody, I didn't think you were going to, you're the only person that's called it, everybody. Duke didn't, Pat didn't, no one's called me. He's like, he's like, we were good friends, he's one of my main training partners. I had to knock him out to become good friends with him.
Sure.
And I said, and they already reached out to me. They said, how long will it take you to make 275? I'm like, what are you guys thinking? It's like, what do you think? I was like, show me the money.
So you think it'll happen?
I don't know. I don't know if it'll happen. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I love to fight, and I don't want to fight some 25 or 30-year-old.
Sure.
I want to fight another guy that's 45, 46, that's built the same. And why I like BKFC is it's stand and bang.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no one's trying to take me down. No one's trying to kick me. No one's trying to choke me out.
Yeah.
And I love Ben, but I know for a fact that I'm a better striker than Ben. And I know that I have that win over Ben, and I know it bugs him.
Yeah.
And I know that every time we sparred, if it was just hands, it didn't go good for him. So it's a great fight for me. It really is. That's the only fight. You know, I mean, there's a few others, you know, but that's the only fight I want. And at the end of the day, I'm in this, and at my age, I'm a belt collector.
Yeah.
So it's all or nothing. Show me the money and put that belt on the line. I'll do it.
That's exciting, bro.
We'll see.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for being here.
Yeah, man, I had a good time.
It.
Thanks for last night, and I'm sure we'll see you tonight at some point too.
Yeah,
so.
we'll be around tonight.
Yeah, this is a great spot. I've come here a few times. Aaron Lewis is a good buddy of mine. Last time I was in Texas, I came here. I had a slap match, and then the girl I was with says, Aaron's playing. Aaron's one of my best friends. Been friends with Aaron for 15, 16 years. We did a hunting show together back in the day. Yeah. And called him up and said, hey, I'm in Texas. I'm on the way. He's like, come on.
Yeah, man.
I didn't even change. I got off the stage after my slap match. I had my knee sleeves on, pulled my mouthpiece out, had sneakers and shorts on, and came straight here.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Came straight. With my buddy Fred, who came up from Oklahoma to watch the match, who you've met here. He's with us today.
Man, you got an open door here all the time.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Love it. This place is, I love Texas.